Hello YouTube and welcome to episode 6 and 7 in the Land of the Lustrous reaction series. Back at it again this week. I have to give a big apology for last week's video. I tried to record it and my voice just went. I probably shouldn't record while I'm sick anyway. It's probably bad practice and ends up with a bad product. But again, very sorry for skipping last week. Was not planned. Let's put it that way. And so that little apology video I put out as well, it's actually one of the videos that has done the best on my channel ever. I think it randomly got picked up by the algorithm or something, which is just strange. I don't know why anybody would want to see that video other than people that were already subscribed to the channel. Anyway, doesn't make any sense, but YouTube doesn't make any sense if you know what I mean. I also wanted to point out that looking at the stats of the last video, I think it got viewbotted somehow. I have no idea how, because I don't viewbot my videos. Why would I do that? That makes no sense. It has proportionally way more views than any other episode in the series so far, and less likes and comments. Doesn't make any sense to me. And I think they were coming from some strange country that wouldn't have that many people watching my YouTube videos anyway. Anyway, it was strange. I don't know who or what viewbotted my video, but it did. but moving on. Let's dive into the comments from not last week, but 2 weeks ago now. Got Mad Makashima here again with his weekly comment, always appreciated. Foss now having candy legs and speed of Flash/Sonic. That was a neat level up. You can do interesting things with this power. It was nice of Snail Team to give them material for replacement legs. Yeah, I also like calling them Snail Team. I might adopt that. It's a nice, simple way to... And you know who I'm talking about, of course, so it works. Cinnabar tries to avoid any social interaction with others. Well, yeah, that's kind of his character in the show, which is fair enough, you know. I don't like social interaction either that much. So it's kind of relatable to me. Foss already forgot Jade because of lost legs. What else was forgotten? Now, this is an interesting point, because I think this is going to come up later, and it kind of escaped my kind of view of the show to this point that, oh yeah, memories, right. So we'll see what comes of that in this upcoming episode. I don't know if it'll happen this episode or the episode after or anything, but something to keep in mind, I guess. What shows do you rewatch often? K-On! All the fucking time. Uh, Other than that, not a lot. Just that I don't have the time. Like, I rewatch my favorites. Anything above a 9 out of 10 on my anime list or something like that, if you want to have a look, that's the shows that I generally rewatch a lot and would just put on just for the hell of it, really. Manga reading and analysis will be a great addition, and then recommends a few shows. And those few shows have been put on the poll for the Tuesday slot, so hooray! And those are being voted on now, and the poll will probably be closed by the time this video goes up, so yeah. But manga reading and analysis would be a great addition. I don't know how I'm going to do that, or if I'm going to do that initially, but it's something to keep in mind. I just don't know how well they do on YouTube, if you know what I mean. I see the appeal of somebody reacting to an episode of anime, but reading something. If I was to do a manga reading or something like that, I would want to put on voices or something, and that is just something that I cannot do. I do not have the talent to do so. But maybe I don't. Maybe I'm overthinking it. I don't know. Feedback is always appreciated. But thank you again for your comment. And we had one more comment here from, let's call him Martin Polson, because I don't really know how to do the middle word there. Oh, let's chuck it in Google Translate, have a little look. Martin Koe Polson, I think? It says it's Danish. I don't know. We'll say. I guess I'll be your 100th subscriber. Excited to see the rest of the show and any future shows. Thanks for the great reactions and analysis. And like Mad Makashima have just suggested, Penny and Stocking, great bit of fun. Looks like it's finally getting another season, maybe. Well, I didn't know that about Penny and Stocking, actually. That makes it even more appealing to react to, really, now that there's some new content coming for it in the future. Yeah. But yeah, you were my 100th subscriber. Thank you very much. It really made my night, the night that I ticked over that milestone. So yeah, thank you. And yeah, that's it for the comments this week. Always comment below if you want me to have a little read of what you have to say about the show or anything else, because I do read them all and happy to read whatever bullshit you come up with, really. Anyway, just a quick recap of the last episode, because it's been, what, a couple weeks, so I just kind of want to catch myself up as well. So Phos is captured by the Lunarians in a trade for Ventri's brother Aculeatus. The Lunarians want Ventri to get more gems for the trade, namely Cinnabar. So you've brought Phos, but can you bring us even more? They got a little bit greedy there. Phos expresses his displeasure at the idea, and Ventri agrees not to rat out any more of the gems, essentially. This causes the Lunarians to be hostile to Ventri, which in turn causes Aculeatus to kind of lash out. This, in turn, wipes out all of the Lunarians in that little battalion, I guess, leaving the Admirabilis with Phos, or Snail Team. Let's call them Snail Team. Phos's selfless attitude to the whole affair garners sympathy from the siblings, well, namely Ventri, who deliver him to shore while taking 2 pieces of a shell in tow. Meanwhile, the gems are searching for Phos in the ocean. Cinnabar is watching on before Phos is essentially delivered right to his feet. Cinnabar takes Phos to the casualty ward, where he's eventually found by the doctor. Phos has lost a lot of himself, affecting his memory, and we'll see whether this goes in the next episode or in the future, namely forgetting who Jade even is. He must have known Jade for a while, so it's a bit weird. The Doctor uses those 2 discarded shell pieces as makeshift legs for Phos, as the legs were lost in the kind of attack earlier in the episode. The legs take some getting used to, but eventually reveal that they have superpower, superhuman, super gem kind of powers attached to them, which Phos demonstrates by moving at supersonic speed. And just a few predictions for the next couple episodes. I honestly have no idea, but the memory thing, we're gonna follow that kind of through line there. And I want some Phos and Cinnabar interaction. I want to see them kind of meet up and chat through a couple things, because I think that's what the show's really needing at this point, kind of a bit more back and forth between the two, because we haven't really got it as of yet. Just some show stuff quickly. If you like the video, consider liking the video. If you like the video and want to see more, especially, well, we've got Back in Monogatari going on at the moment. We're about halfway through the Land of the Lustrous, and we're picking up a new slot next week. So subscribe if you want to see any of those. And yeah, comment below. I go through all the comments. Anything about the show, anything to change my presentation, any stuff like that. And just one more thing. I have had a Twitter account for this channel in the description, but I haven't really tweeted anything yet because I'm lazy and I don't really know how to find people on Twitter. So I thought I'd kind of cut out the middleman, and anybody who follows me on Twitter from this channel, I'll follow back. And that kind of lets me follow some people on Twitter that would, have some interesting things to say about, I don't know, anime or their lives or anything like that. So yeah, if you follow me on Twitter on that account, I'll follow back. So consider doing that if that's something that interests you. All right, let's get into the first episode. Cool, and I've got episode 6 up here at the moment. It is very, very white and bright, so my face might look a little bit weird at the moment, but anyway. Let me get that up on screen. So I'll be showing that during the video. During the video, and there will also be a timer down in the bottom corner there. And yeah, I'm going to give it a 3, 2, 1, go. Oh. Straight into the opening, I guess. Alright. No complaints here. Because it's a good opening, of course. Yeah, it just gives me a little time to just sit and relax, really. Shoreline? I might give the lyrics to this opening another read, like in one of the last episodes, just to see if I can kind of wrap up what they've kind of been saying in the show in the lyrics of this opening. Or maybe they're just not as relevant to what's going on. More thematically relevant than anything else. Very, very white opening. I don't know if I'm tired or what, but the bright lights are just kind of throwing me off a little bit at the moment. Sick. Alright, where are we? First battle. Yep, this is Foss. Foss moving at supersonic speeds. Exactly where we left off. Good. I like this. He is very excited about the whole endeavor. It's good. Okay. Bell. Oh. Being attacked, are we? Yellow haired one. This feels like a Foss coming in to save the day type situation. That's kind of funny. I like that. Okay. Adamant's coming. They should be alright then. Yep. Even if he doesn't look like he's moving fast, he's moving fast. That's nice. Bit of self-sacrifice there. Oh god. You lost your head. Yellow Diamondo? Yeah, the docs had plenty of work to do. Must have been a good shot. Yeah, Yellow Diamond. Diamondo. Oh. Well, that's no good. I wonder if we can get these people back. Or gems back, I guess. The oldest. You can kind of see it in the character design too, there. Hmm. Bit of survivor's guilt going on, you know? That's Foss's stool. Yeah. Foss is up and about and zooming. Oh, Nisama. Big bro. We've done this one already. Okay, so they don't come during the rain. I've spotted something. I've spotted a Foss. Zoom. Oh, that's a great shot. Oh, you can't control them. You'll get used to them. Just takes a bit of effort to get used to them. I mean, yeah, he's a diamond, so. Oh, break. Okay, yeah, I understand. Weave. Good old candy legs. No cleavage. Still a bit breakable, aren't we, Foss? Mm-hmm. Okay. You're still very breakable, though. Mm-hmm. Spunky. Oh, adamant. He's gonna yell, bro. You gotta run. It's still gonna be too heavy, I think. Like, ooh, ready? Gonna fall. Bring me your lightest blade. Determined. I don't know. The heart wants what it wants, you know? But I mean, you help Master doing lots of stuff. Hmm. For our friends as well. Yeah, obviously. Amethyst on the lookout. Well, yeah, lookout's a good job, right? Because you can zoom back and warn people. Yeah. Okay, that's a good fit. Hmm. Oh, foreboding. Yeah, good point. Can't remember. Ooh, can't remember. Interesting. I love the color change here as well. The legs look so good. Love the reflections. Only wide and big. None of the important stuff, huh? Ooh. Hmm. See Adamant's reaction there too. Well, I mean, yeah, good point. He seems like he's human. I never really thought of it that way. I just assumed that he was some kind of other gem. Interesting. Okay. Yellow Diamondo. Oh, I love the design. Love the hair. What about everything else? Oh, I see. I was like, what are they doing with the shadows? It sounds painful. Oh, so there's lots of amethysts. I don't like that either. Request the transfer. But what about Cinnabar? Where's Cinnabar? It's only Lookout. That's very smooth. It almost looks like a video game, like that shot there. Oh, it's on my ass. How would you calculate such a thing? Fossifolifilaito. He's so proud. Look at that. This is so true. Like starting a new job. Like the newbie is so tense, wants to do everything right. I love the voice of the amethysts. Oh, eyes on the sky, please. Nope, it's okay. We're fine. So does that imply that amethysts have died in the past? Damn. Keep working. I don't think Foss is going to struggle to get any rest. I think it's going to come pretty easily. But it might be too much for him as well. Good old Wooden Bowl. Wooden Bowl's the best character in the show. You're fine. Just chill, 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 chill. It's just a bug. Mm, nothing has happened yet. No, it takes time. That'll get him up and about, right? You want to look cool. Oh no no no! Because there's thingos coming. Yep, the Lunarians, they're here. So they kind of appear out of midair in a way. Again, it looks like you know those like the ink blot test and that kind of thing. You know what I mean? There's a lot of them. Send help. Well, that's what Foss can use the legs for, right? Go run in and find somebody to lend a hand. There is a lot of them. They're looking menacing. Oh, there's a big, big one. How good are Amethyst? Let's find out. Pretty good. They're playing Dynasty Warriors right now. Is that really it? There's something inside. Uh, is that like using a different gem? What the hell is this? Foss, you need to run, brother. Uh, it's looking bad for our heroes. Damn, and Foss was just like too tired and stunned to even do anything, you know? Well, Bullets is going to be unhappy. What a great shot. Yes! Get him King Bullets. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, that's sick. Look at the smoke there. Yo, Adamant's like really strong. Potentially, you're not quite ready. I can't. I wasn't good enough, and that's okay. I don't know. It seemed like a decent ending to all that, if you know what I mean. They at least got the twins back. Again, no. Show me Cinnabar. I want more Cinnabar. No, that was good though. That was really good. Just because you've powered up a little bit doesn't mean you can change completely immediately. You know what I mean? It's something that takes time, gradual effort. And I'm guessing, yeah, Voss was just kind of stunned. Both stunned and exhausted by the whole thing, really. And that thing that came out of that Lunarian, it looked kind of like it was using a gemstone of sort, you know what I mean? Which we've seen before. They kind of grafted like the gold onto the arrowheads. I think it was in the first episode. So maybe that's something to watch out for. Like they're using their friends literally as weapons against them. Oh, next time on, we cannot do that. Looks like we're in the ice though, which is completely different. But yeah, no, that was really good. We're gonna jump into some analysis. Let's have a little look. Yeah, that was a good episode. I think it did a lot for Foster's character. It kind of demonstrates not the first large hurdle for him in his pursuit to change entirely, or whatever the whole point of the show is, the whole thematic kind of thing they're going for with the change. It doesn't happen overnight, you know what I mean? It takes constant effort, especially when you're not built for it naturally. And we saw the consequences of that with the Amethyst twins, I guess I'm calling them, kind of getting at least shattered. I think they're going to be okay. I think we can put them back together again, but not entirely in a good way. But yeah, Adamant kind of saved the day there, along with the rest of the gems that kind of knew what they were doing. Other than that, there was some good comedy this episode. It had me chuckling, had me smiling a lot, which I like. Yeah. Other than that, we're just gonna get the episode up here, and we're just gonna go have a little look. I'm gonna pause when I find stuff interesting to talk about specifically. Other than that, we're just gonna try to get through this and get to the next episode in a quick fashion. I very much appreciated this after kind of the 2 week gap between recording sessions. Yeah, kind of continuing exactly where we left off. Really helps, keep stuff in the memory and keep a through line of the plot that helped me after a break. Because I struggle with seasonal anime sometimes when I'm watching multiple seasonals, if you know what I mean. Watching week to week because I forget stuff. Because I've got a lot of other stuff going on in my life and other anime and, you know, all sorts of stuff. So I kind of forget what's going on sometimes in these kind of shows, especially when plot lines are picked up weeks later. I definitely think the binge format is probably the best way to watch these kind of things. But yeah, this was very helpful for me. In this opening scene here, we kind of meet one of the main characters of the episode, kind of the new character of the episode, if we're talking about it like that. This is Yellow Diamond, Yellow Diamondo, introduced here with a little funny, etchy, bad touch. Don't touch me there. I don't like it. He seems like kind of the big brother of the group, if that makes any sense. Around the longest, the oldest, one of the best, very well respected, seems to have a good relationship with everybody. Not particularly prickly, like, say, a Bortz. Responsible, confident, all sorts of words you could use to describe Yellow Diamond at this point. It's an interesting pairing with this gem. Their name is escaping me at the moment, but one of the youngest gems kind of paired with one of the oldest. I wonder if that's kind of like a I'm training you up type operation. And yeah, this gem here, again, name escapes me, kind of puts his life on the line for Yellow Diamond, which is strange considering Yellow Diamond's experience. I'm guessing, yeah, this they use the word spunky to describe him before, and I think that's kind of what they're going for here. Wants to do everything right, a real go-getter. Again, contrasting Foss a little bit. Zikron is that one's name. Yeah, the Doc's had a rough, couple days putting Foss back together, putting this head back on. Gonna need to do something with the Amethyst twins later on. So hope the job pays well, because he's definitely getting work. It's another thing Yellow Diamond has going on, a bit of survivor's guilt. He's been around long enough to be paired with a bunch of people, and some of these people have not made it. Why was I the one to survive? Why were they the ones that had to die? That kind of thing. But late in the episode, he kind of reveals that's kind of a reason why he continues to fight. If you know what I mean. Like, I'm fighting for my fallen comrades. Again, the gems never really die. They don't have a concept of death. They've just been turned into something else. And I think holding on to that hope that one day they'll be reunited is kind of what's driving Yellow Diamond here, which is good. Along with his love for Adamant, but we'll get to that scene. I'm a bit of a dumbass, but there's been a lot of, in this scene in particular, it's something that you don't normally see in your traditional 2D animation, bit of focus shift. So we're definitely focusing on the background characters here, whilst in the foreground we're focusing on the stool. This helps it kind of keep in our mind, and when the doc goes later, oh, Foss is off his stool, where is Foss? That kind of springboards into the next scene pretty well. I want to see if it eventually comes into focus here. No, they kind of switch to another shot of it, if that makes any sense. Where it's like, yeah, it was always in the kind of the foreground, and there was a pause in the dialogue for you to focus on it as well. So then, yeah, it kind of works in the same way the doc's thought process would work in that situation. We kind of hear a yellow, is it a yellow Onisama? Very respectful. And definitely, I wonder what's the association there, because there's Dyer the diamond, and then there's Bort's the kind of the perfect diamond. And then yellow's a diamond as well. Got lots of diamonds around. But yeah, this scene here, especially if we can get to it, kind of Dyer's reaction here. Kind of just like, oh yeah, very respectful, very doting of her senpai in a way. Good little bit of character building. I liked it. Another little tidbit in the dialogue there was the rain keeps the Lunarians away, which is why they're kind of a weather forecast at their little meeting before they go off and do their thing as well. Good little lore detail. Makes sense considering that they come in on clouds and maybe those clouds couldn't generate. Something to that effect. I love this scene here. This shot in particular is very well done. I love the after image of Foss moving through the environment there that you can see, and the shocked face of Yellow Diamond here. But it also demonstrates that Foss has a lack of control over his new kind of ability, if that makes any sense. This kind of flows into the last scene of the show, where you have all this new potential, new power, and we're going to put you up to the test, but potentially you just don't have the control over it to make anything of your power yet, if that makes any sense. Change doesn't happen overnight. Change takes a lot of different tries. All this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? It's only with the help of those around him, those more experienced, that he is finally able to find kind of stable ground, in a way. Yeah, this is like a little metaphor for the show. If you fail, I'll catch you, have some faith. With change also takes a support network from the people around you and those experienced in doing said change. Instead of having dismissive people like, say, Bortz, we need to have more people like Yellow Diamond here. But then again, when it's a life or death situation, is it really the best place to be learning on the job? You know what I mean? Anyway, I'm rambling a little bit. So even after all that's happened in the show, where Foss has put others directly in danger due to his actions, he's still gung-ho about wanting to fight, wanting to protect everybody, that kind of thing. Still striving to find this change. I wonder if there's going to be a breaking point there. If there's going to be like maybe I should stop trying to change myself in that way. Bortz in particular, who had experience in the last kind of confrontation like this with Dyer, will definitely have some feelings on this. I think that that Foss is potentially just a liability to the group and can't be trusted to do anything like this. Interesting plotlines to follow, I think. We'll say. Foss kind of tries to serenade Yellow Diamond into being his partner, which is interesting. Made me chuckle. And I think the doctor's face there kind of sums up my reaction to the whole situation. Obsidian, bring your lighter sword. And Foss grabs the lighter sword and, of course, falls to the ground. You may got new legs, but you don't have new arms. You're still going to run into the same kind of problems that you had before. That's why I thought Lookout was a good job, that he would be able to run away and alert people and that kind of thing, but just kind of got shell-shocked when the event actually transpired. Why do you want to fight, Foss? Well, because I love, so I want to help Master. Just comes right in and says it, huh? But all the gems kind of agree in essence. Love for Adamant and love for their friends. So I'm really wondering what the whole deal is here with the kind of community they've got going on. You know what I mean? Like it's curious. What does Adamant know? Is he being entirely honest? All these kind of questions. This point is directly kind of evidenced by uh, Adamant here and the kind of change in the color of the scene here. Like becoming red, like ominous, foreboding. Adamant kind of asks the question, so what did you see on the ocean? Foss can't remember, besides a single word, human. And just the uttering of that word kind of gets this reaction out of Adamant, which is interesting. He also shatters the table. Yeah, I don't know about that. But yeah, he knows some stuff that we don't know about the history of the world and that kind of thing, and what humans are and where they've gone and all this kind of thing. Maybe kind of linking into that lore that the snail team kind of dropped on us a couple episodes ago now, with the bone, the flesh, and the spirit. But I digress. We're gonna continue. Then we see in the follow up scene that the table is straight up like smashed. Yeah, he definitely knows something. Something's up. Another new character here, Amethyst, that we're introduced to this episode. The first thing I noted about Amethyst is that I really liked his hair. I think it's effective. I like the hiding the eye, and once we hear the voice, it kind of all comes together. But there's one more interesting thing about Amethyst, and that's kind of demonstrated here. So initially, I just thought they were doing something artsy with the shadows, but no, the Amethyst can create a copy of himself, I guess. And these copies have kind of numbers associated to them. So what if that's the number of times that Amethyst has kind of been, I don't know, killed in a way, and then we generate a new Amethyst. So Amethyst 33 would have generated 34 and 35 all the way up to 84. You know what I mean? Anyway, I guess we'll get more context into that next episode regarding Amethyst, considering what happened to them. But yeah, instead of a duo, it's going to be a trio on the lookout with Foss and these two. So we'll see. I've noted a couple times I really like the voice acting on Amethyst. I think it's effective. Demonstrates a lot of character immediately. Just a good bouncing off point for Foss's antics, I think. Two that are very calm, like veterans on the job, that kind of thing. Contrasted with Foss, who's kind of a newbie. We'll see in a scene later that they're kind of looking at bugs and the skyline and all this kind of thing, and Foss is all tensed up, holding the sword ready for attack, getting startled by said bugs. Good little contrast there. Good comedy moment. And here Foss is so nervous about the whole new job thing that he can't sleep, holding the sword, that kind of thing. But also has a little dream here about Cinnabar. So keeping Cinnabar in the brain, that kind of thing. Kind of the overall goal of what Foss is trying to do here. Trying to increase power so that he could find a way to make Cinnabar's life better. If that makes any sense. You know what I mean? To change somebody else's life, you have to change as well. Kind of that kind of vibe. I noted in the reaction portion that I think this shot here kind of looks like a video game. Just the way it pans and kind of goes behind the character. I don't know. Made me chuckle a little bit. Those tense shoulders, first day on the job. You know what I mean? It seems like they have a meeting here for all the, kind of, I don't know, warrior class. In this meeting, they cover a number of things like weather forecast and where they think that the Lunarians are going to show up that day. Yeah, kind of after being that tense for that long on patrol, Foss is pooped. Yeah, 3 days of this in a row would leave some level of fatigue for Foss, I think. And the doc's going to try his best, of course, but there's not much you can do when the body isn't built for it. You know what I mean? I just like to imagine that Foss was standing that tense for that long for that whole day. Got a little bit of contrast here that I didn't pick up in the reaction portion. So in the previous 2 days, Foss had been startled by bugs, ready to attack bugs, all that kind of thing, right? When exploring. Again, kind of reflecting the whole encyclopedia thing. But anyway, on the third day, Foss is that pooped at the whole thing that the bugs are even allowed to land on him, if that makes any sense. So no longer tensed up, that kind of thing, out of energy, can't even attack the bugs in a way, can't even swat the bugs off of himself. And of course, this is the day that they get attacked. Yeah, like the ink blot test. That's what I'm talking about. Kind of. Let me get a picture up. Yeah, it's a Rorschach test. That's the official term. I don't know what this means, but it just kind of reminded me of it. I guess that it has something to do with it's like a psychological test, right? It's like a personality test. What you see in the ink blotter, that kind of thing, right? Is that kind of related to the spirit in a way? Am I grasping at straws? Potentially. Anyway, I praise the musical direction all the time in this show, but I thought this was particularly well done. Part of it, just kind of the build up to the appearance of this larger Lunarian kind of thing that appeared. Very menacing, kind of ominous build up in the music that I enjoyed. And initially, that kind of ominous energy was undercut a little bit by the twins and how competent they are. They kind of wipe out everybody there very quickly until there's the discovery of a different weapon. It seems that the Lunarians are very sneaky. First it was the snail, and now it's whatever the hell this is, right? So this was hiding inside one of the larger Lunarians, and it looks very different to everything else we've seen. This thing looks sci-fi. It looks directly contrasted to the rest of the Lunarians, if you know what I mean. So it has some kind of bright core to it, and also has these kind of gem-like kind of spikes coming out of it as well, kind of acting as teeth. So I'm wondering if this is a previous gem that was taken. I think Yellow Diamond mentioned Sapphire. Potentially this is Sapphire. And something to do with the core of this particular Lunarian as well. Very different vibes from this. It was almost very scary, I thought. But yeah, this was a tense scene. I actually really liked it. Yeah, and here's the Amethyst twins getting destroyed. And the Amethyst twins kind of ask Foss to run. But Foss doesn't do it. Foss is too tense, too kind of shell shocked by the whole thing to even act. In combination with being tired, it's also like mentally like fucked up to see your friends die like that. You know what I mean? So definitely interesting character development for Foss. But yeah, whatever happens here, kind of they're leaving, but it shines a bright light in the sky, which causes all the other gems to have a look and run over and see what's going on. Right? It's like, oh my god, someone's being stolen. It's kind of like a beacon, you know. Just look at the backgrounds here. The backgrounds are so good too. I love the trees there. Like kind of painterly backgrounds with the CG put on top of it. Looks very good. I particularly noted how good this scene was, where kind of you feel Bort's approaching behind kind of the kneeled Foss, and then jump into the air and spring into action and save them. Direct contrast. Use the direct contrast there. Like Foss is powerless, Bort's is powerful, right? Foss isn't there yet. You know what I mean? So we see okay, this is good actually. There's a couple things to talk about. We see Yellow Diamond immediately went to Adamant and is like, hey, Adamant, you need it out here, man. So we just saw how powerful Bortz was. We also see that Adamant is even more powerful. Adamant demands the respect of even Bortz. You know what I mean? Um, And in a follow up to the scene that we saw earlier about Foss loving Adamant, we kind of see Adamant's affection given directly to Bortz here, and not to Foss in this situation, further emphasizing the devastating nature of the scene. Foss is devastated looking at this. Look at this look. You know what I mean? Like, everything has gone poorly today for old Foss. I don't quite know what he means by "you poor thing" here, but then he kind of goes and booms the whole thing. Again, I can't like. How did they do this effect with the smoke? It looks so good. Just this shot is excellent. He looks like a Harry Potter wizard. Look at him down there. This is awesome. And the blues and the reds in the smoke there. Yeah, I wonder how they did that. Is that all CG? It's very good CG if it is. And we kind of end on this shot here, kind of, disapproving Adamant, like not even looking at Foss there. Bortz is like pretty justifiably pissed off at the whole thing, and yeah, Yellow Diamond just watching on. It'll be interesting lead into the next episode, I think, which I'm gonna go bring up now, and we're gonna go have a look. I wonder where we're going from here. I really don't know. Like, Foss has been taken down a peg again, but that's happened a number of times now. Foss feels bad about himself, then kind of picks himself back up. It's kind of the cycle we've seen at this point. I wonder if that'll break. We're going to see. Anyway, see you in the reaction portion. We're back for the next episode, episode 7. I've got this episode up here. I didn't tell the time code last time, and I apologize for that. But this one's 24 minutes and 2 seconds. I'd imagine the last one would have been similar. And looks like we're starting with not the opening. Let me get that up on screen, actually. Yeah. Yep, looks like we're not starting with the opening this time. Looks like we need to jump right in and get cracking right away. Anyway, yeah, there's a little part down there that's going to show the video, and there's a little part down there that's going to have a timer. All right, let's give it a countdown. We're going to give it a 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, kind of an immediate follow-up again. That's good. Yep, that shot again. Bortz is sick. Sorry, I stuffed up. Okay. Looks like we're putting the twins back together again, though, which is good. Or at least one of them. I don't know how it works. You know what I mean? Yep, he's okay. How about the other one though? Yeah, we're okay. Hmm. Very, very regretful. Yeah, it's fair enough. I'm trying to show off a little bit, yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, this one's back. That seems like Alex's thing here. Blades were made of sapphire. Now Foss just pieced out. I'm gonna see you all later. It's nighttime. Are we gonna see some cinema, please? Yep. Go have a chat. Go talk it through. Cinnabon might know a thing or two about being socially outcast because of an ability or a lack of ability. Don't want to even see him. Okay. Oh, and it is now winter. I love that, kind of the snowflakes falling with the poison. Hmm. I, the word still escapes me. It's like using the weather to reflect the emotions of the scene in the story, if you know what I mean. So if it was like raining when somebody was sad, they're kind of doing that here, like, you know, direct contrast to like the Breath of the Wild shot we saw before at the start of the last episode. We've kind of got this going on with the snow. Happy, sad, cold. Everyone's cold towards Foss. There's something there, I think. Still a banger song too. Really is. I wonder where we're going here. Hibernation. Alright, cool. Alright. Bit of a time skip, perhaps? It doesn't need to be that specific, I don't think. Or do they need to kind of bunker up so they don't freeze up? Oh, so they kind of hibernate. That's interesting. Oh, that fabric looks great. Little ghost person. Joku. Oh, yeah, because it's the light, of course, from the sun. I don't know. By his name, he seems good at this ice thing. Antarcticite. Kind of chilling in the water. Little freezy boy. But it crystallizes when the temperature drops. Okay. Kind of these two just adamant in this gem. Kind of just stay around while the rest hibernate. That's cute. And they just sleep for a while. Okay. I love the hairstyles. It's very funny. Little pigtails. Hell yeah. You got to look fashionable whilst you hibernate. Of course. At least fix the table. That's nice. I'm sure he probably just could have gotten a new one. You still think about the whole human thing. All right. Here's the Entatakaito or whatever. Entatakaito. I can't say it at all. No, you're probably going to bounce off Foss a little bit, I think. Considering Foss isn't tired. Yeah, righto. Unfinished business maybe for Foss here. Okay. Funny. You've ruined winter for me. I think that's what it is. I'm also quick now. Okay, so you didn't get in trouble. Kind of recompense in a way. All right. Bit of respect there from old Snowy. What's your work during winter? Guess we're going to see. That's funny. I like the different lines there. It's hard work. Kind of face planted in the snow. With sun comes Lunarians. Walk until you can't and then walk some more. Or you like army general. I don't think plowing your head through the snow is doing you much favors though, Foss. If I'm going to be completely honest. What are we here to? It's kind of a frozen lake. That's something else. It's like a ship. I don't know. Sinners. Yeah, this is interesting. Now's the real one. The sounds are insane. This is so like, what is going on? An ad break. Imagine watching an ad there. I could not stand that. Oh, so gotta keep him asleep. That's nice. If it's about crushing stuff, I don't think Foss is going to be of much use, though. See, it was easy. You try. Why not? You'll adjust. Because I will. Again, another contrasting character with Foss. And you always do what you've always done. Opposite of change. It's kind of like a training camp for Foss in a way. You know what I mean? That's kind of the mirror from the shot before. It's clever. She's at least strong enough to hold the sword like that. That was great. I love the in the shot. Well, he doesn't have much experience. Kind of sleepwalking. Of course. But you're getting better all the time. That's what it's about, you know? The sound is, yeah, terrifying. Well, he's been doing it alone for ages. Who is speaking? Antaku. This might have something to do with the understanding the speech of the snails as well. Interesting storytelling. I like that. Hmm. But these aren't even mine, though. No. 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 Don't do that. That's bad. Don't listen to the ice, my brother. They only reflect your self doubts or whatever. No. Don't listen to them. I don't think this is how you want the change to happen, though. How much of yourself are you losing in that change? Clever. Clever show. Like, literally physically fighting, like, your doubts all winter. Oh, they made a big splash. Foss needs help. Oh no. I need those arms. I can't get those arms back. And that's where we're ending. Okay. Interesting that so it wasn't a choice to get rid of the arms, if you know what I mean. It was kind of like a slip, but it was still there in his mind. So again, like losing parts of yourself through the change. You want to change, right? You want to change for those around you so you can help those around you, but how much of yourself are you losing in the process? In this case, literally, like you losing your memories. And what else are you but your memories? You know what I mean? And no next time ons, please. Intriguing. All right, we're going to jump into a little bit of analysis. I'll see you in a second. So yeah, that was another great episode. Very clever from a storytelling point of view. This is what this character Foss needs to go through after the events of the last episode, in a way, right? Kind of facing their demons, you know, the sinners, and these sinners that directly reflect back your own self doubts and that kind of thing, and you're banishing them, you're killing them, or at least trying to kill them, right? Until they kind of start to convince you otherwise. Very clever. Like in this point in the story, this is what would be going on, meta wise. That's what's going on in the story, but it is literally happening here, if that makes any sense. That on top of, we got a lot of nice lore details in this episode. Again, some good comedy. They keep it light when they need to, which is good. Splits up a bit of the drama. Good pacing, well paced, well animated. I thought in particular the sequences where they're destroying the, what are they called? The kind of sinners. They had a word for them. Flows, yeah. When they're kind of destroying the flows, um, there was some great pieces of animation there. Very fluid, dynamic, all these kind of words. But yeah, as always, so I'll get this episode up here. And I'll just pause it whenever there's something to talk about. All right, let's get into it. So, much like the previous episode, we're kind of just starting right from where we left off, before time skipping a little bit later on. Um, Again, this is good. I explained it last episode. It's kind of good for a seasonal show like this because I'm imagining this aired seasonally. When you're watching week to week, I enjoy kind of picking up where we left off in a way. In these kind of ones where I'm binging it, it's less important, but it's still a good reminder, I think, of what's important. So yeah, kind of the Amethyst twins get put back together here, very quickly. Bit of glue on the head, stick them right back together. Again, the doc's been doing a lot of work lately, and we find Foss essentially prostrating. What do you call it? In full. There's a Japanese word there for this stance that's escaping me. But yeah, very apologetic, very respectful, bowing the head. But then the Amethyst twins come back with the, yeah, but we were being kind of cocky. We're trying to show off, trying to set a good example, and we were doing the wrong things. Yeah, good scene between these three characters, I think, kind of demonstrating that they're all apologetic for what happened in their own way. I was so scared I was unable to move. So on top of being tired, just yeah, very, very scared of what happened there. Which is, fair enough. They're kind of scary, the old the old Lunarians. Oh, and kind of Alexander enters the scene. You know something about some weird Lunarian that had Sapphire with them? Sapphire. Um, and obviously wants to know about it. And yeah, Foss just kind of pieces out and goes, I'm a head out. I'll see you guys later. Foss just wants out of there, the whole situation, you know what I mean? Can't see them at the moment, can't face them. But then comes to face Cinnabar and runs into the same issue. I have nothing to tell Cinnabar. I've done nothing to help him change, if you know what I mean, as well as help myself change. I have nothing to show for my efforts so far. Again, emphasizing this whole like kind of self-doubt thing going on, right? Can I actually change? Do I have the power to change? All these kind of feelings. And those feelings are reflected back at the end of the episode. But we'll get there. Yeah, I'm going to look up the word for this. Just give me a second. It's a pathetic fallacy, is what Google is telling me, which kind of is ringing bells from my English classes back in the day. Yeah, so it's snowing, and that kind of reflects the cold atmosphere of everybody towards Foss as well as Foss's internal emotions, right? Again, this is just smart writing, just piling meaning on top of meaning to create different stuff. It's good. And yeah, I believe there's a bit of a time skip here. I think maybe not that long, but it is now deep into winter or deeper into winter, and it's time to hibernate. So now thinking back on what we knew about the lore of the gems, it makes sense that they hibernate because they draw a lot of their power from the sun. I don't know if it makes sense that the Lunarians don't show up without the sun, but I don't know. From the little preview frame I saw, spoilers for next episode, I think some Lunarians are going to show up. So we're going to have a little look there at what that all means. I think they rarely show up when there's no sun. But I digress. I'm rambling. Everybody else is preparing for hibernation, but Foss is still. Foss doesn't feel tired. He feels like there's some unfinished business here, if you know what I mean. Can't go and hibernate. I normally rest easy, but I can't rest at the moment. I've got to change something. And kind of everybody is here preparing for hibernation. We get some good outfits. I don't know why they need to look so good in hibernation. Fashion is about passion and persistence. So you always need to be passionate and persistence with your fashion, even during hibernation. Anyway, doesn't make much sense to me. I like all their hair when they're kind of done it up and all that kind of thing. It's like a kind of classic sleepover type energy from it. I like it. It's cute. I wanted to note as well the CG on this blanket or Foss under this blanket was like really good because you don't normally see cloth rendered very well in 3D, if you know what I mean. Um, so when I saw this, I thought it was unique and kind of impressive in its own way. It's just I don't really feel tired this year for some reason, and then they're like, "But you get up late and go to bed early every year. Like, what's the deal?" This year's different, you know? I got some stuff going on. Some unfinished stuff. You know, I haven't been able to fulfill my promise to Cinnabar and my promise to myself by extension. Oh, through the whole of winter, there are only about 10 sunny days on average. On those days, Lunarians are sure to show up, and when they do, Entark, Snowboy. Snowboy and Adamant will kill them all. Okay, so it makes sense. So they only show up on the sunny days. Yeah, and Tark is kind of this gem person, right? That only manifests during the winter because they kind of have a liquid form during the warmer months, which is an interesting conceit for a character, I think. And is obviously very attached to Adamant because of this, because Adamant's the only one that he gets to associate with until now. It makes it another, interesting kind of comedic pairing for the episode that I quite enjoyed. Master Adamant kind of fixed the table, and the table is now an extended metaphor for this whole mention of humans by Foss. Whenever he touches that, he's thinking about you know that scene when he did break the table, and makes us the audience remember this humans kind of plot point going forward, which I don't think will be solved this season, if you know what I mean. It's definitely something way later down the road. I like how he wears a contrasting color uniform to the others, kind of camouflage in the snow as well, along with the white hair and white skin. I think it goes well as a character designer. I enjoy it. Also, kind of in the face as well. The face is a little bit thinner. I don't know. I think that's just the character. I don't know. Anyway. And then he blushes and runs over and is embraced by Adamant. But somebody is watching, of course, and that is one Foss who cannot sleep for the winter. And then Adamant's like, I don't know, you guys pair up. That sounds like fun. uh, and comedic hijinks ensue. Again, I like the use of Entark here as a character, kind of, again, contrasting Foss. So we've had a number of characters contrast Foss, you know what I mean? So Dyer carries similar insecurities to Foss, but is on the other end of the hardness scale. Yellow Diamond contrasts Foss by being on the other end of the age scale, completely older, but still has the same kind of worries and wants and desires and motivations and that kind of thing. And here we have Entark, who has very similar kind of hardness to Foss, but is completely different in demeanor. Kind of a representation of what Foss can become, kind of overcoming their own kind of faults with the hardness thing. Even though I think they say Antark kind of gets harder through the winter, if that makes any sense, but kind of has a less base hardness than even Foss. So we learned a little bit of context about the incident last episode. Nobody blamed him for what happened in a way, but except for himself. I'm frustrated by the way things go on. I want to try my best to kind of overcome this, try to make up for this, all these kind of feelings. You can't just rest, it's weighing on the brain. And again, these frustrations will be reflected later when we find out what we're doing in the winter. Another great piece of direct contrast between the two characters is this little look at their paths through the snow, where Antark is kind of your straight up and down operator. Foss is all over the place, right? Doesn't quite have the militant efficiency yet of somebody that's been doing this for years. You're gonna keep walking and then walk until you can't, and then walk some more. Again, I think I noted in the reaction, it's kind of like a training camp. You know what I mean? Atoning for your sins and kind of working to better yourself. And with all training camps, right, the hard work is the reward. And in the end, there's kind of a temptation away from this place of hard work because they're not getting the results that they want. Well, yeah, Foss isn't getting the results that he wants. Again, clever storytelling, very clever. Not quite in this scene, but I also like how the backgrounds and the environment and all this kind of thing stays interesting despite their primarily white color palette. I think they do a good job there of still keeping the frozen kind of wasteland interesting to look at. So here we go. When the sea freezes over, any segments with microorganisms from the seafloor wind up like that. So kind of the microorganisms from the sea are kind of trying to escape the frozenness of everything and then move up into the stratosphere to try to make their way out of the ocean, but still get frozen in the process. And now it makes sense why Foss can hear them, because Foss has the power to hear, see, or listen to sea creatures, the Admirabilis, as we're calling them, I think. But of course, they don't have sentient emotions, they only reflect the emotions, the negative emotions, the self doubts of those that can listen. So Adamant has this power, Foss has this power, and Tark doesn't have this power. Master once called them sinners, which is interesting considering that Adamant can hear them. When you're trying to atone for your sins, these are what you hear. But also, what they're saying could also be interpreted as sins. I don't know, there's something there, I think. And as Foss says, here, listen to that. I thought the sound design of these things was very creepy, very abrasive, definitely reflective of what was going on in the story. I thought it was very well done. I just think the whole audio mix of this show is great. What we got wonderful voice acting, wonderful music, wonderful sound design. Like, what else could you really want, really? Just an absolute joy to listen to. So, got to kind of banish these things back to the ocean. And I just, rewatched that piece of animation there. Very smick. Specifically, the heel on the top of the iceberg is reflected later when Foss is trying the same technique. Definitely learning a lot from Antark in this process. Definitely improving, which I don't think Foss is noticing as much as he probably should. And here was a little note that I missed that kind of causes the stakes for the last scene of the episode. If you fall into the sea, you'll be ground to dust by those ice floes. So when Foss was looking at the water, like, oh, I should just stick my hand in, stick my hand in, stick my hand in. I was like, what's that going to do? Is it going to like freeze off or something? This is what's happening to that. Makes sense now. Okay. And that's what happens when he ends up slipping into the ice as well. Because you never try. I do the things I can as best I can. Then you'll only ever do what you've always done. Again, yeah, this is kind of the thesis statement of the show, in a way, right? It's all about change and how to change and what you need to do to change, and is there a shortcut to change, and all these kind of feelings, right? And Tark here kind of represents a goal, right? And are you going to get to that goal by staying the same? If you stay the same, everything else is going to stay the same. I don't know. I'm kind of talking around in circles here, but you know what I mean. It's intriguing, and I want to see where we go with this. like artificial change versus organic change, and kind of that dynamic as well that we're gonna get into later in the series. I think definitely interesting. I like where they're taking this, and I want to see different characters reflecting this theme as well. How is Cinnabar going to try to change? Dyer's already said that he wants to change as well. The Admirabilis are kind of changing their way of thinking. Was one of the points from a few episodes ago now, that if we don't change, we'll just be like the Lunarians. It's kind of the thematic through line of the entire show, and I can't wait to see what they do with it. So I might just play this little bit here, but hopefully it's quick enough that I'm not going to get content ID'd or anything. So kind of this shot of Foss when her face gets shattered, into this shot of Antark saying almost, into this mirrored shot of Foss saying I'm beat, and then it rotates. It's clever. It's snappy. It's a nice little training montage they got going on here. Very comedic. Nice change of pace from the deeper scenes that we've just seen. Very well done. Not much else to say about it other than that. Again, another great visual joke here where Foss is kind of just standing in the foreground while Antark there's doing all the work. Kind of just increasingly getting snow chucked on top of him. It's good. And then this joke kind of comes to a head here when when the Foss standing in the foreground is knocked off the roof entirely by the snow falling, as we can see here. Just chuck a sheet over Bortz, because Bortz is like sleep fighting or something, and then it's the same deal for Adamant. Just chuck a sheet over him, he'll be fine. So why do you do that for Adamant? I don't know. Can't hurt. And here's where the ice flows start talking to Foss. Are you all right? Are you all right? All this kind of thing, right? Well, it kind of makes sense because it's like a frozen sea microorganism trying to talk, but again, doesn't really have the thought process to make actual thoughts. Just kind of reflects the thoughts of those who hear. So all wind here, kind of out here destroying your, like a manifestation of your personal demons, which is what you would do in a winter kind of training camp, atonement camp kind of thing anyway. It's clever. And of course, at the end of this episode, kind of the ice flows take control, the self-doubts take control, and it ends with grave consequences for Foss. Adamant kind of gives his advice here. They are but the dregs of creatures from times long past. Still your heart while in their presence. The exact opposite of what Foss does in the next scene. I feel like Adamant has great experience with this phenomenon as well, and is kind of trying to impart this knowledge onto Foss. And yeah, Antark kind of brings it up. I kind of wish he had hands to match those legs. So I've changed my legs, and it's given me superpowers. It's given me some stuff that I've never been able to access anymore. So it only logically follows that I need to get rid of more of my own limbs to try and make this happen. But in the process, I've kind of lost important memories, lost myself. In the process of changing, making too harsh cuts can turn you into something else entirely. Not Foss anymore. And we're going to have to see the consequences of this. So yeah, in this scene, we kind of see the ice flows continually talking to Foss, or reflecting Foss's own personal self-doubts and self-consciousness and all these kind of things back at him. If I only didn't have these arms, I could be better, I could be stronger, I could save Cinnabar, which is the whole goal of Foss in this series up to this point, really. And it's an interesting decision that in the end, Foss didn't do it, Foss slipped. So it wasn't by choice, even if Foss's deepest, darkest parts of himself were thinking it. And there we go, the arms have come off, and they've dissolved. They've dissolved into the water, they've kind of been consumed by the kind of ice flow creatures, or whatever. And we're going to have to see where we go from here, because that's our stopping point. Predictions for the future? I've got no clue. I don't know what we're going to use to replace the arms. I accidentally saw one frame of the preview that showed some Lunarians in the snow kind of next episode, so we're going to see how that goes. But other than that, I really don't know where we're going. And I've said that after basically every single recording session, which is just, they just keep taking it in whatever direction they really want. The only really kind of not really plot, but kind of thematic through line is this whole thing about change. And we're going to keep an eye on it, and we're going to see what kind of points the show's trying to make about that by the end of it. But yeah, other than that, that's kind of the end of this episode. I'll be back next week for 2 more episodes, and then I'll see where we go from there. Just some show stuff at the end again. If you like the video, consider liking the video. If you like the video and want to see more, like another Land of the Lustrous episode next week, consider subscribing to the channel. Leave your comments below about anything you want to talk about, really. And the Twitter thing. If you guys want to follow me on Twitter, I'll follow you back and do all that kind of shit. Sounds good? Sounds good. Alright. Thank you very much for watching. It's been a blast, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you very much. Cheers.